7 minutes or less. I like Pokemon. I'm not a massive fan, but I've played Blue, Leaf Green, Heart Gold, Platinum, and I'm currently playing through Emerald, so I've done a fair few. But I said during the intro to the Golden games for Snowboard Kids on the N64 that Pokemon Snap looked like a bunch of crap, but I couldn't judge it too much seeing as I'd never played it. Until now. What I like about the main series of Pokemon games and RPGs in general is starting off as a low-level weakling and gradually becoming an unstoppable badass. The concept of taking pictures of Pokemon was never one that really appealed to me, but Pokemon Snap seemed to get a fair amount of love with a lot of people wanting a sequel on the Wii U, so it can't be that bad, can it? The concept is pretty straightforward. Take pictures of the Pokemon you come across. Simple, but why are you doing it? Well, in a dramatic turn for the Pokemon series, several Pokemon have been found brutally torn apart. People don't live on the island, so there must be something affecting the Pokemon causing them to become hostile. Access to the island is largely restricted, so that's where Todd comes in. He's a photographer and Professor Oak has asked him to travel around the island near places Pokemon corpses have been found. The aim is to take photographs of the Pokemon in their natural habitats to try and uncover what has been causing the increasingly violent Pokemon behaviour, reveal the dark secrets hidden within the depths of the island, and not only prevent more Pokemon being savagely killed, but also prevent whatever is causing it from spreading to other places. You might be saying a plot like that is far too dark and sinister for a Pokemon game, and you'd be absolutely right. There is no bloody plot. They couldn't even be asked to come up with a decent name for the island. It's called Pokemon Island, so why would they worry about an engaging plot? It was true that people don't live on the island, but Oak is just using it as a way to study Pokemon in their natural habitat, and Todd Snap is there to help by taking pictures. That's it. It's pretty much an on-rails first-person shooter, only you take pictures of Pokemon rather than shooting them in the face. Once you get to the end of the course, you show Professor Oak some of the pictures you've taken and he awards you points depending on how good it is. He always does it on the size of the Pokemon, the pose, and if it's in the centre of the picture. But how the Gordon Bennett can he say that this Butterfree is in the centre of the picture, yet this Moltres is not in the centre of the picture? It happens a lot during the game, so there is some luck to it, but for the most part it's fairly simple. As you unlock more courses, you also get given food which is used to make Pokemon come closer or give them a different pose, and Pestaballs which you use to piss them off and hope for the best. Thing is, why didn't I get these items at the start? Oak sends someone off to do a job and then after a couple of hours says, "Oh, by the way, here's something to make your job a lot easier." He stands there all high and mighty, sending a kid off to the arse end of nowhere, but doesn't give him stuff that would allow him to take better pictures, which will aid Oak's research more. What's even more redonkulous is that after a while, he prevents you from going any further until you've achieved a certain score or taken pictures of a certain number of Pokemon. Why? Some places require switches to be activated which open up new routes. They're fine, but why stop me going to new places until I've met an arbitrary requirement? And how does he even know there are enough Pokemon in the areas to meet those requirements? Not only does he send Todd out without giving him items that would benefit everyone, but he also sets requirements that might not even be achievable. Brilliant! Give this man a raise! Okay, maybe I'm just nitpicking, so let's move on to the courses themselves. You start off on a nice beach and it's fairly straightforward, plenty of Pokemon to take snapshots of. More courses gradually become available and for the most part it's just a case of point and click, but it's not always that straightforward. You might need to throw some food, a Pestable, play the Poké Flutes which you get surprisingly late in the game, or push them into lava. Seriously, look at this. This Charmeleon is walking along, minding his own business until you come along and push him into a vat of lava. It makes him evolve into Charizard, but how are you to know that would happen? You could have caused him to die a slow, agonizing death as he gradually melts into the magma. There are other times you have to annoy them in order to take a picture, so how can Oak say it's studying them in their natural habitat when you're going around pissing them all off? I'm rapidly going off, Oak. As I mentioned, there are certain Pokemon you can get to do a pose that bumps up your score. Thing is, there is no way of knowing what Pokemon can pose or how to get them to do it, so it's very much a case of trial and error. What's really pissing annoying is that the buggy moves quite slowly, which is normally fine, but this game makes you grind the courses a bit, and when you know you've got everything you can in an area, you've just got to sit there and wait. Eventually, you get a speed up Doobie, but again, you get it quite late in the game. There was one bastard switch in a level I had no idea how to get, and with Oak saying, "Oh, a mysterious switch. Good luck," he really wasn't helping. It was a pain in the ass going past the switch trying to figure out what I needed to do, not being able to, and then having to sit through the entire course again to have another go. Anyway, eventually he asks you to look for signs that resemble Pokemon, and honestly, this part I quite enjoyed. You're given a hint on what to look for, and then you work out where it could be and sometimes how to make it appear. Occasionally it took several attempts running through a level trying to figure it out, but by this time I had the speed boost thing, so it wasn't too bad. Some were blatantly obvious, but others were more creative. It's a shame there were only 6, one per course, as working everything out was far more rewarding than any of the other crap I'd done so far. The final level is a Rainbow Road knockoff where you can take a picture of Mew, but Oak still thought my picture of Starmie was a better picture than this one of Mew. Actually, there were a few pictures he thought were better. Once you've taken a picture of Mew, you're pretty much done. You can replay the levels to fill the Pokemon report of all 60-something Pokemon that are available, but meh, I'd need something a bit more challenging. Ooh, high score challenge, bit better I suppose. It'll make good use of the poses and stuff. Must get something awesome for doing it. Hang on, I'm gonna check first. They're having a giraffe rig! You get a slightly different ending speech from Oak, and the pictures displayed during the credits are displayed in a scrolling film ream instead. Delphox to that! Before wrapping up, I just want to briefly mention the poses you can get Pokemon to perform. It was really the only time I felt engaged in the game, and as though what I was doing as a player really mattered. The main problem was that as it was mostly trial and error, I didn't get a lot of them, like the Surfing Pikachu, because I didn't know you could get a picture of a Surfing Pikachu until I saw some of the ones I could get while checking the reward for a 100% completion. Granted, it's good the game doesn't tell you exactly what you can get and how to get it, but something similar to the hints for the Pokemon signs would have made it much more enjoyable. I know I bashed the game quite a lot during this, but there are two ways I can look at it. As a game, it was repetitive and dull. Sure, it had some good moments, but it was far too reliant on trial and error for my liking. The other way is as a photography thing, and that part it did very well. Some nice locations, plenty to take photos of, and the poses were a nice touch, even if it did leave you in the dark a bit too much. I can't say I hated playing Pokemon Snap, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it, and I certainly won't be playing it again. See you next time.